Welcome back to the Average Bros Fantasy Football Podcast. This is your boy Mike. I'm here with Tyler. I'm here with Anthony. And guess who else I'm here with? Our guy, the Messiah.
Hello.
Dre is back.
What's up?
He's here. He's going to talk about how great Noah Fant has been, and among other things.
Top 60 tight end.
Yeah, I'm about to be chugging beers. Make sure it's Michelob Ultras that I'm chugging.
Yeah, we got everything in this fridge. We got White Claws, we got Hazies, we got
You know what? White Claw.
Micheladas, we got.
I think we're out of White Claws.
Yeah.
We might be out.
I feel like those would be easy to shotgun. So.
I feel like they'd be harder because it's like more like it's seltzery.
Yeah, the carbonate, the
Seltzery.
bubbles.
Yeah,
That's
it is kind of a lot.
Hey, Google it. Seltzery.
You Googleize it.
But listen,
All right.
Before we start, I got a few things to say.
All right.
If you did we just announced the giveaway winner.
It was Missing
My V. So we just gave away a Marlon Mack signed jersey. We're doing a lot of giveaways. We're going to start doing them. We're going to try and do them weekly. I think we might skip this week, but next week we're going to do another one. So stay tuned. Check us out on Instagram for that, AverageBros_fantasy football. And so today we're doing the waiver wire episode, but before we start, I just want to say something real quick. If you're into daily fantasy sports, go download the Thrive Fantasy app. It's a daily fantasy app. It's more like a prop betting app. To be honest, if you're outside of the state of Nevada, it's a prop betting app. It's pretty dope. But if you sign up right now, you put $10 into the Thrive Fantasy app, they'll spot you another 10. It's pretty dope. Free $10. Not mad at it. All you got to do is use promo code AverageBros when you sign up. You get that free $10. And yeah, that's all I want to get out of here.
You had me at free.
Free.
Didn't we turn that free $10 into what are we up now? Like 30K?
Yeah, we're at like 30K right now.
Yeah,
it's pretty sick.
We almost don't even need sponsors if we just keep using
Yeah,
Thrive.
honestly, I'm about to quit this podcast and my job and also
become a Thrive specialist.
Yeah, Thrive Fantasy.
Wow. Sign me up, please.
All right,
Man.
let's get this going, boys.
All right.
What do we want to start with?
It's time to wave that wire.
Hey,
All right. So
Should we get into some news? Hit up
Before
Parker.
we do
Let's do
waiver
it.
wire, let's do that.
Peter Parker, it?
all right,
Yeah.
let's get it.
What is it, the Daily Bugle? Or is that Superman?
No, I think that's
Spider-Man.
Man, you're talking to three brown people about cartoons or superheroes. I don't know.
All right.
You don't know?
Let's start with some
No say.
news. I know last night game, just thinking off head, Javon Allison got a mean concussion. So,
Yeah.
I mean, we'll talk on the receivers at the waiver wire with that. But, yeah, that's something to watch. Devontae Adams still, I don't know if he's looking to be back this week. It's early, but, you know.
I think turf toe is one of those injuries that it really is week to week. Julio Jones had it like 3 or 4 years ago.
Yeah.
And
turf toe makes it sound like so like minor. Like, oh, it's just turf toe. It
Yeah,
should be
you
called
think-
like death toe or
Yeah,
something like
for sure.
I've had a hurt toe, and I could barely walk.
Yeah.
I
Bro,
couldn't imagine running routes.
That's how Bob Marley died. He had cancer in his toe, and then he loved playing soccer. And so all of his fucking idiot Jamaican friends were like, "No, dude, if they cut off your toe, you won't be able to play soccer." So he wouldn't cut his toe off. He literally wouldn't have
He
died.
really had cancer in his toe?
Yeah.
This is,
Is this fact?
Is that
Swear to
real?
God.
I find this so hard to believe, but.
Bro, I have a
know.
Bob Marley
That's
tattoo, I
not-
swear.
All
Oh,
right.
you have a Bob Marley tattoo?
That's what my quote is on my side. It's a Bob
Oh.
Marley. I got into Bob Marley for a minute. But dude,
I was gonna say you have the quote of him losing his toe.
Yeah.
He has his,
Like,
he has his,
fuck
canc-
you.
he
The
has
whole
his
story.
cancer toe on his side. It's just like
Fuck
toenails
you, that's
falling
my
out.
toe. No, he went to like these terrible English doctors. He just got terrible advice. And he fucking,
Man. Well,
but yeah, so toes are serious is my point.
Shout out to B.O.B.
I mean, hopefully he's out another week because I'm facing him, but that's neither here nor there.
Personal feelings
Yeah,
involved
that's
in this.
personal. My bad, but
Hey,
Aaron
look,
Rodgers needs him for sure.
SMMIV joined our Instagram live. Congrats,
What
dude.
up?
The champ, tell the winner of the jersey, congrats.
Congrats, brother.
Congrats, bro.
All right.
Enjoy that.
I'm trying to
Anyways.
look up some news real quick right now. You guys got any important things you think of as far as injury wise?
Yeah, Geronimo was hit. I mean, honestly, I think Geronimo got dropped in a lot of leagues anyways.
I mean, that whole offense is pretty.
It's
Stagnant.
definitely not the offense that we're used to seeing in Green Bay.
Yeah, it's more of that. I guess was it Matt Patricia? That's the head coach, right? Patricia?
No,
From
it's
the
Matt
Lions.
LaFleur.
That's the Lions.
Oh,
Le-
Lions.
Matt
LaFleur.
LaFleur. I mean, he's bringing in that. I mean, that's kind of why we've talked about Aaron Rodgers. We've had him a little lower in rankings this weekly. Is he's bringing that, kind of run heavy style, kind of older school offense, to the Packers, which is hurting Aaron Rodgers, which is hurting the receivers in return, and is also making your phone rings.
That's me. Well, actually, speaking of, what about Williams? I mean,
Jamal
Williams. He was out
went
there.
off.
Ran for over 100 in a tug.
I think what happened was Aaron Jones dropped that
Yeah, he was dog
dropped that touchdown pass, and they were pretty upset with that.
after he fumbled.
Yeah, and and
Yeah,
then
he had a
fumbled.
fumble too, which was he kind of doghoused
So
himself.
it was all in that first drive, and then in that first quarter. So I think after that they were, like
it
you
was a
said,
wrap.
doghoused.
But he looked good though.
So that being said, we'll talk about that when we get into who we'll pick up. But yeah, that looked good though.
Oh, Manny Sanders, that's the other injury. I know he went out last week in the first half. They're optimistic about Thursday, but you got to watch it. Manny Sanders going into a Thursday night game. It's the Chiefs, so it's a pretty good matchup, but his knee's not looking too. It's 50-50 right now is what they're saying.
So you know who to look out for, right?
Yeah, Josh Gordon was also sidelined, so we got to see his status as well.
No
fan. Dude, he might catch a touchdown.
Hey, he catches a touchdown, he'll probably be a top 15 tight end.
Like
either
Noah
way.
can't.
Noah can't do a goddamn thing. What did I say? Top 10 tight end? Oh man, that's
You
rough.
said you said
12?
that. You said top 15, I think.
Well, it's not looking like that.
It's
either.
not that far behind. He's number 27 right now.
Oh, so all I need is back to back good weeks,
To back.
or a Hunter Henry
What you
game
need
this
is
week.
you just need him to have like a Will Fuller game where he just has like 3 touchdowns in 1 week and it
top
just
10.
jumps him up like
What,
1 week.
tight end 6.
Yeah.
You know what? I hope he gets me 2 touchdowns this week, and then he's at 20. So
Yeah. There's a couple more injuries from this week. Amari Cooper, he's questionable for this week with the quad injury. He's apparently in terrible pain. Terrible.
With that, I would probably already look for a backup plan just because the Cowboys have that bye week 8, so they'll probably be cautious and just probably sit him out. I
I think they have a pretty good matchup this week. Could be a winnable matchup. I'm trying to think who they play off head.
no, they play Philly.
Oh.
They play Philly, so I don't know why.
Philly's
They're
corners
tough.
are probably the worst in the league.
So-
Hopefully if you have him, hopefully he plays against Philly. Because
No, it'll
Or
be
you got
tough. I
Gallup,
mean,
Gallup.
Yeah. They don't want to push it. They need him. So I'm saying it sucks if you have him because of that bye week. But I mean, don't be surprised if they sit him because of that.
Yeah, and
Just
then
to keep it safe, give him those 2 weeks.
Cam Newton, he's cleared to return to practice. They have a bye this week, so if he's there, stash him. I'm sure we'll bring that up. I've seen him dropped in a few 10-man leagues.
Who?
Cammy Newton.
Cam Newton.
Killer Cam.
I forgot about him.
Yeah, so
Just playing.
I've seen him dropped in some 10-man leagues, so I know he's available in like a 10 type of format. But reports are saying they're aiming for week 8. I don't know if the Panthers say, "Hey, Kyle Allen's the starter still" or not. I doubt that, but I don't think
they want bring Cam Newton back. Dude, he's 0-2. Yeah, 0-2 with Cam
The
Newton.
Saints last year too.
And-
Back.
0-2 with Cam Newton, 4-0 with Kyle Allen.
Yeah, but he had the foot injury and he kind of,
but-
he came into the season banged up, so
That's what I mean. He's always banged up. I can't imagine with them winning all these games, them taking it back. I'm just saying, if I'm a betting man,
yeah.
Which you are. Thrive.
No,
Go
I'm
on
not.
Thrive for your prop bets.
no, I'm not.
But
Hey, Thrive started
Thinking
prop
of
bet.
If I'm a betting man, I would say that Kyle Allen would stay in as long as they keep winning. Obviously, he can lose. I think if he loses 1 or 2 games, they'll still keep him.
I'll
when he comes
beer
back.
bet you he doesn't lose this week.
Well, yeah, your bet.
What?
I'll beer bet you Kyle Allen doesn't lose this week.
Doesn't lose?
Yeah.
Okay. Wait, no. Who's they playing? The Dolphins?
They're on
Trying to
bye.
buy.
Bye.
Well, what I was gonna say was, I mean, you don't want to throw Cam Newton back into the fire anyway, because right after their bye, they play the Niners. So I mean, do you really want to have him sit out that long and then just
And play
have them play the Niners?
the undefeated.
I would say that's a
Undefeated
homer analysis, but Niners D is nasty.
and they're at home. And the Niners are at home. It's not like the Niners are on the road. I mean, I'm just saying, it's not you want to set them up for success. Like,
Maybe their plan is to be like, all right, we're going to put Kyle Allen there, let him get destroyed.
or they could run the Wildcat with Kyle Allen and really throw everyone off, but who knows? Oh, hey, Zach Brown, that's good news.
Hey, Dolphins Super Bowl champs 2020. Someone asked that.
2025.
2025.
2020, whenever, the year Brady retires.
Yeah, there you go.
2037.
So 2030. He's got another 15 years. All
Jesus.
Bless the Dolphins.
right, I think we've touched on most of the news. You guys think of anything else I've had? Live feed, guys. You guys got anything?
No.
No. All right, cool.
No, you did not win the jersey. Okay. Someone else.
Who's that? This is the girl. Pick me.
I was gonna tag you three in it and put myself in it.
So for the giveaway, I don't know if you saw on it, but you had to tag 3 people.
Yeah.
And someone just commented, "Pick me."
We're like, nope.
You should have been like exact perfect winner. All you had to do was ask. Congrats.
You solved the riddle.
Yeah, it was.
You know what you should have done? You should have went to the store and bought like the baby Marlon Mack jersey, like for like an infant, and just send them that one.
Oh my god, it's pretty funny actually.
What if they actually have a kid though? And they're like, oh, thanks, it worked out.
Then you're the man.
Yeah.
You know?
I almost said a really dumb comment.
All right.
I
So
caught it.
what are we starting with?
You're trying to
Quarterbacks?
bat the wire.
Let's pad the wire.
All right, let's do it.
Yeah, let's do
Bing.
that.
Hit the drop.
Look, you guy.
I'm good at this, dude.
Dude,
the wire! Pass the wire!
I talk like that sometimes.
you're getting better,
Bro,
though, dude.
hey, you want to hear
Watch
something
out,
funny?
watch out.
Yeah,
You know
it's
what? You know what Julian told me that he didn't know. He's known Dre
man.
for like his whole life.
Shout out to
And he said
Jules.
that he thought he was Asian.
You thought I was 8.
He didn't know he was Mexican.
You think you're like
Jules, if you're
Filipino?
listening, yeah, one day he came to my house. At this point, like every day, we would bullshit, play FIFA, Madden, and my mom calls me one day, and you know, my mom's Mexican. I'm Mexican. I start speaking in Spanish, and he like looks over at me, and he's like, "The fuck was that?" I was like, "What?" He goes, "I thought you were Asian." I was like, "What?" My last name's Navarro. Like what? He's like, he thought I was Filipino.
Well, Filipinos
for like
have Spanish
15 years.
names.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah,
So
because
Jules-
our boy Rainer, his last name is Gonzalez. But yeah, I
He
feel.
thought I was Filipino. I was like, "That's."
But he's. I guess they've known each other since like what, like second grade or something.
Dude, I've known him for forever, and so that whole time he thought I was He's never seen me eat Asian food. I've never. My house doesn't. Not saying Asian houses smell, but you know what I'm saying, like
They have that.
rice. I don't have like the sticky rice pot or nothing like that. No, I'm saying like I have nothing in my house that would show you that I'm Asian, like
There's
at
no.
all.
Yeah.
There's
I
no.
got you.
There's
I got
nothing.
you.
Do you take your shoes off by the door?
Yeah, that's because I'm brown.
Yeah, Asians
is
and
that
brownies will do that.
Because my mom's Mexican, she
Yeah.
slapped me. Anyway, whatever, Jules. Shout out to Jules.
We have 2 Asians on the podcast, a Filipino and Mike. What Asian are you?
I'm not Asian, dude.
Dude,
You
I
guys
don't
always
know,
think
bro.
I'm
Look at
Asian.
your eyes right now, brother. They're squinting hard.
Yeah, because you guys are making me laugh.
I'm for sure getting you an Ancestry.com thing.
Yeah.
I
Send
mean,
it.
I could
Send
be.
it.
But
No
here's the
flub.
thing: is I've gone my entire life. Nobody's ever said I was Asian until you said that.
Dude, but
I have a good
his-
story.
his
I'm gonna
whole
get you one
life,
of those
he-
like rice farming hats, the big ones.
Oh my
Jesus
God,
Christ.
dude.
He's gonna wear that in the podcast.
Welcome to the most racist podcast about fantasy football.
But we will tell you who to pick up on the waiver wire.
Hey, listen.
Pass the wire! Pass the wire!
Dude, so
You
you're
gotta
getting
start
good, dude.
this.
Okay,
All right,
okay.
let's get
All
it.
right.
All right, hit that QB position.
All right, so for one of the guys first for me, we kind of touched on it. Killer Cam, 50% available. I don't think that Kyle Allen keeps the job. I think he's doing a good job as a backup, and maybe he's making himself some money to like maybe sign a deal with another team going forward. But I can't imagine a scenario where Cam Newton's healthy and he sits on the bench, especially him. He's like a diva. There's no way he's just going to sit on the bench and keep his mouth quiet. So 50% available. I'd definitely be stashing him.
Yeah, I'm on your side. I think he gets the job when he gets back. I think they might try and push it another week though, just to make sure he's
Yeah.
healthy. With Kyle Allen playing well, hey, he's playing well.
That's
Hey,
what I
let's
think
make
is-
sure you're healthy before you get on the field.
Sacrifice him to the Niners defense.
Yeah.
And then
All right,
I'm down for that.
I bet if they keep winning, that they'll keep
Your
Kyle
bet?
Allen.
Do you bet?
I don't think that they're gonna tell him, hey, this guy's better. I think they're gonna be like, hey, dude, you're not 100% yet. We really don't want to aggravate an injury. We want to save you, but they're gonna just keep Kyle Allen.
Someone's gonna walk by with the kettlebell in the training room. Oh shit! Sorry, Cam.
Just drop a kettlebell on his ankle.
His ankle.
I don't know. That's just me, but I would bet that.
All right, we could beer bet that.
All right, beer bet.
I
seen it.
we
All
got
right,
Cam.
quarterbacks, but I'm not mad at the Cam Newton stash though. I do think it's a good stash.
I mean, two quarterback leagues. I mean, those are out there for sure. Hold them down.
yeah.
The offense is good. The North Turner offense is good. I mean, when you have McCaffrey that you could literally just throw a little 4-yard pass to, and he'll juke
He'll just-
5 people and take it 70 yards. That's
he makes 3
that's
people miss
good.
at one juke.
Yeah.
Oh, and I'm sure McCaffrey wants him back just for that run pass threat. Because you're not worried about Kyle Allen tucking that ball and running. At least I'm not.
Did you see that play by McCaffrey on that pass? Just literally, it's like, and 3 guys go flying to the left.
Yeah, it looked like a cheat code in Madden. Like I was like, what is that? Aren't you in the NFL? You got to tackle him.
That's funny. What other quarterbacks do you?
Kirk Cousins is someone I kind of, he's had 2 good back-to-back good weeks, 4 touchdowns, 2 touchdowns, 300 yards in both those games. And the schedule coming up is it's a pretty good schedule. It's someone you can kind of match up play for sure if you have a quarterback. If you're someone who's playing if you've been running with like a Jameis Winston and someone else, he's a good guy to throw in there. You can mix in, especially with the bye week. He has Detroit, he has Washington and KC, and then Dallas, who's okay. But those 3 matchups right there aren't bad matchups on paper for Kirk Cousins.
Yeah, hopefully you listened to us last week. We touched on him in the matchup, saying to pick him up, and I think he finished as the QB1 on the week. So,
I think he might have been.
Just like you said, in certain matchups where they're playing against bad defenses. I mean, you have Thielen, you got Diggs, Cook out of the backfield. And the last couple of games he didn't really have to throw the ball that much because they were blowing people out at home, so they just ran the ball a ton. And then one game on the road against the Bears, tough game. So 3 of the games there kind of are skewed. The stats are skewed.
Yeah, I think what I heard someone bring up, I think it might have been Matthew Bear on ESPN, is he was like talking about how maybe they pass more because they want to go out there and run the ball and they won a couple games only throwing it like 10, 15 times, but like from a efficiency and scoring standpoint, it's like, okay, maybe we need to be a little bit more balanced because we do have Kirk Cousins who can be efficient with Thielen and Diggs, and it just makes the offense better as a whole by having, some more balance. And I think that could play into some fruition where you saw 27, 29 targets. If he stays in that range with the talent he has with, say Cook on the dump off, Thielen and Diggs, I think he could be a weekly streamer quarterback for sure with that. And I kind of think that might be the case going forward.
Yeah, for sure.
Cousins, yeah. And they work backwards, essentially, their offense. They go off the run and play action. So they're mostly a play-action team. So when you got Dalvin who's just running the ball the way he runs it, I mean, it's only going to open the door for him, too. And especially,
that opens for big plays specifically,
for sure.
too.
That's how it was working with Diggs. They were just jumping the run, and it wasn't even that effective. I think Dalvin had like 40 yards, but they still jump him because they got to respect it. So as long as Kirk Cousins doesn't suck and overthrow the deep ball or, those big plays, I think, he should be.
It seems like Kirk Cousins just needs the pressure.
Yeah, he needs something to push him a little bit, like his teammates talking shit to him. It's kind of weird.
Some people that like motivates them. They need that pressure. Like what's his name? Ocho Cinco used to say that.
Andrew Luck.
He won't throw the ball 50 times.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah.
Or he just
he won't retire.
He's like, dare me, I'll do it.
I don't know. A guy for another name right here, Ryan Tannehill. I know this is kind of like a shot in the dark, but this is for sure a homer pick because he's played for Miami.
Titans
but
fan?
I called it at the beginning of the year. It was only going to be a matter of time until Tannehill takes over because Mariota's just par at best in my opinion. And Tannehill's actually not a bad quarterback. He just played in Miami, and they have one of the worst offensive lines. I mean, I think there was a crazy stat with Tannehill when he first came in the first 3 years. It was like he threw the most yards in like his first 3 years out of any quarterback in like ever in their first 3 years. But then on top of that, he also got sacked like 50 times more than any other quarterback in his first 3 years. So when you think about that, like he threw the most yards in the first 3 years, but then he also got sacked 50 times more than anyone in his first 3 years in the league. That's just a wild stat. I mean, obviously the Titans are a better offensive line than Miami. So he's 99% available. I think, if you're struggling for a quarterback or if you have a Mariota, I would pick him up because they do have some weapons there for him. But 13 for 16 completion-wise in the last game, so homer pick for sure.
I like that. No, I'm not mad at that. It could,
Yeah.
I think if you're on a stretch, double quarterback league, stuff like that, good stash.
Just a name to keep an eye on.
Yeah. How do you guys feel about
Sam Darnold.
Oh, Sam Darnold?
That's what I was going to bring up.
Yeah, go ahead.
Who are you going to say?
I was going to say Ryan Fitzpatrick. Just
I think
game
Rosen,
script.
I think they're going to give Rosen the ball back. Plus, it's like
Yeah.
Rosen gives him a better chance to lose. So
Because I know they put him at the end of
Confidence.
the game.
Yeah,
I was
get
just
better
saying
chance to
game
lose.
script, and we've seen Fitzpatrick actually just throw out. I was curious what you guys thought.
Yeah.
I'm kind of wonder that play design to win the game if it was because Drake was they practice it with Mark Walton every play, and then he's all of a sudden I was in there. They're like, yeah, Drake, get in there, and we'll just have you botch it.
Yeah.
Go in there and don't catch it.
They probably did it on purpose for sure.
And,
Yeah.
Give you
and
an extra
honestly,
10K
You don't
game
fuck
check.
up this first round pick or this first pick.
I feel like someone just hit Ass Madden on the play call because that was the worst play call.
Yeah,
why would
it's
you run a screen play from the 2-yard line?
It was a one option. If it was if they blew it up, there was no other chance.
Yeah.
It's not like he had a chance to make a play. It
Or
was
if he doesn't catch the ball right to him.
Yeah.
fishy.
Fishy for the
Fishy
fish.
for the fish. Sam Darnold, he's someone you're not going to really pick up and play this week, but I mean he has a juicy schedule coming up. What?
Julian said, "Do you have a translator for when Dre speaks?"
Oh yeah, I'm talking to him right now. Yeah, Ching Tong Tao.
Ching Tong Tao.
That sounded more Chinese.
If that's something that's, I don't know what it is.
Anyways,
But yeah, Sam Darnold. I mean, he's played relatively well in his 2 games. You know, coming back from mono, he had a good game against Dallas defense, which is supposed to be above average defense, but 2 tough matchups. So he's someone that you're not going to start against New England. I think he's someone you can let the waiver wire time run out, where it's like, what is it, 1:30 a.m. or whatever it is.
Use it as an ad.
Yeah, and you can just go use him as an ad because I don't think anyone's picking him up against New England. Or if you're betting a fab, bet $1 fab or a $0 fab on him because I don't think anyone's picking him up to play New England. But after these 2 weeks, you know, or you can wait a week and maybe pick him up next week. But he's got Miami, New York Giants, Washington, Oakland, Cincinnati, and then Miami in the first week of playoffs. So those are all definitely streamable matchups right there.
Sure, yeah.
But that said, too, it kind of like, this isn't necessarily a waiver wire, but I know he had a good game. But Robbie Anderson, maybe after this week against New England, maybe he gets shut down. He's someone I'd probably try and target in a trade. Even Le'Veon Bell, who's been underperforming, because that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 week schedule right there is just is pretty nasty coming up for them. You know, if you can get Le'Veon Bell on the cheap going into next week, Jacksonville's just been okay. You have 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Yeah, 6 games. Even Baltimore's been okay against the run. Le'Veon Bell could be that difference maker in your playoffs and that run. You know, potentially if you can get him cheaper.
And Robbie Anderson, you can use him as like a package deal because he can end this season as a wide receiver too. I mean, pretty easy.
Yeah, like we're in a dual flex league, like with all 3 of us, and he's like one of those perfect dual flexes.
For sure, he's one of those guys that won't lose you a game, but he can win you one with a 92-yard bomb or those deep balls like that, and just gas you. So I think he's a.
And he has the best neck in the game.
And he's got Coolio hair. So
Bro,
if you own him on your team,
dude,
he's got Coolio hair.
Oh, dude, that's what I said, and they interrupted me when I was saying that. Like I remember, I was trying to say that he has Coolio hair.
His hair is his little.
Don't remember.
I remember.
And you were like Johnson Williams.
Nope.
Damn. Hey, I got you.
Thanks,
We're here.
dude.
I don't. Yeah, like
That's why you're here,
just
Dre.
kind of touch on what they said. 92% available, and they have the easiest schedule going forward. We'll touch on all those guys, all the receivers,
Whoa, chill.
when we get to the receiver report. But yeah, easiest schedule for them for the rest of the year out of any team.
Robbie Anderson.
Fucking send it in.
Send it. Send it.
You know who that was?
You guys got any other quarterbacks? I
Dan Marino.
think we kind of ran over them.
Yeah, that's pretty.
Send it in.
You want to go RBs or WRs?
Yeah. Let's go running backs.
Let's go RBs.
Fucking send it in.
Fucking send it in. Let's do it.
Let's see. I'm looking at my running back. So who do you got for?
I mean, let's just go. What do you want? Let's go Benny Snell. I'll just think of one off the top of my head.
Low key, I think
Solid.
I hope I did say something about him in the last podcast when we were talking about the Steelers.
You did talk about you picked him up and you're gonna play him. I think.
Yeah. Because Jalen Samuel's out, it seems like they kind of like they do. James Conner's obviously the number 1, but it does seem like that they're using 2 running backs with these when you have this fucking 3rd string quarterback Devlin Hodges in.
Well, yeah, for
they
sure.
have to. They just Juju's not really getting away from these good cornerbacks, and they just have to run the ball.
Yeah.
With multiple people.
Yeah, their defense is playing well, so it's allowing them to stay in game. They had a lead, I think, the whole game against the Chargers, pretty much, right?
Yeah.
So that allowed them to run the ball a lot more. Yeah, I mean, he's someone you're gonna have to wait a week to play him potentially. So he's someone where he's kind of you got to hold him for a few weeks to see, and you might not even necessarily play him if Connor's back, and then
he's somebody you could throw $1 on Fab at probably.
Yeah, he's someone you could probably get for cheap Fab.
If you don't know what Fab is, that's free agent auction bidding.
Is that what that stands for?
Acquisition.
I thought it was acquisition.
Whatever.
budget.
It still means the same.
Same
Are
thing.
you sure? Are you sure?
You tried to come in sounding all.
No. Well,
You
is
guys
it?
didn't know.
That was like us trying to describe like a torn meniscus. We're like, yeah, you're like the
Well,
torn meniscus.
it's
It's like the
because you're
fuck, I don't know what I'm
auctioning
talking about.
because you're like auctioning the players.
Yeah.
It's free agent acquisition budget.
Is it?
I'm pretty sure it's acquisition bidding.
Well,
but
I'm not going to argue because they both start with an A, but I've lost all of my auctions.
It might not even be any of these 3.
What if it's like Fab, like free agent auction,
Like 3 A's?
acquisition? Yeah.
I mean, that wouldn't surprise me either.
It's not 3/8. It's fucking
like
Fab.
like Sob.
Bob?
Jesus Christ.
Bob, brother.
But yeah, Benny Snell. I think if you miss on him this week, I wouldn't put him as like my top waiver priority. But I think if you miss on him this week, you could probably get him after the waiver wire or after the fucking bye week.
Yeah. They play
he'll-
Miami and then coming back after the bye too.
Yeah,
and
which is
Miami's the worst team.
I think
imaginable.
everyone targets Miami for everything.
Yeah.
Whoever they play on defense, Survivor League.
Yo, can I just tell you though
Every
that just sidetracking, but have you seen all like the Barstool Sports things on Miami? Like how like their tailgates are just like they're like Miami might suck, but they have the littest tailgates ever.
Yeah, bro.
and
They
it's,
had like strippers. They had like
strippers,
strippers.
and, like
a
they had like the
stripper pole in
bang bus at the tailgate, and they were like, yeah, like
Solid.
that tailgate's more interesting than like the game. They could have had the bang bus guy
You
there.
guys trying to go to Dolphins game?
Dude,
So,
yeah.
pick them up.
People
off your
don't even
waiver
go
wire.
into the game; they're just kicking it.
Just
dude.
kicking it in the parking lot.
100%
Dude, yeah.
owned in every league.
Dolphins
Bang-
tailgate.
The bang bus is owned in every league.
The bang bus. Pick up the bang bus.
Yeah, running back wise, I think it's kind of more of like it's a little bit more of like a handcuff type of situation this week with the running backs. I mean, yeah, I'd probably say the two higher end running backs I'm trying to think of would be Jamal Williams, Chase Edmonds. They're running backs with some weekly value, but if those guys go down in front of him, Aaron Jones, he hasn't played a full 16 yet. I know it's only been 2 years, but and then David Johnson's been banged up constantly this year. So and Chase Edmonds actually had a pretty good game even with David Johnson last week.
Yeah, he almost scored a second touchdown. So I mean, he looks good. He can catch. He looks like he fits their scheme. He can catch. He's good in space. He can run good routes. So
Yeah.
they can kind of spread him out and.
Yeah, I mean, if anything happened to David Johnson and he missed, he'd probably be a top 15-ish running back
18,
the rest of the way.
They wouldn't have to change their game plan around him because he does the same things.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's good for them.
You got some running backs, Tyler? I know you got more of the own percentage side. Maybe someone like Singletary.
Yeah,
stuff like
these
that.
are like most of these players are owned a good amount, but I mean, you got a guy like Carlos Hyde, he's 35% available, and I guess there's a lot of teams out there that are like 8-man leagues, so maybe that's how it affects these things, and we mainly
10.
do like
10 and 12.
12 team leagues, but 35% available. Carlos Hyde, three games with 20 or more carries, 10 or more carries in every single game. He's the goal line guy on a good offense. He just had a good game. I know the Chiefs' run defense isn't good, but I mean, 20 plus carries, over 100 yards, touchdown. And he's on one of the best offenses in the NFL. When you have Deshaun Watson, you got Nuke Hopkins, Will Fuller stretching the field. I mean, they're going to get Kenny Stills back too. He's still low key underrated. This is a really good offense. So I think we kind of touched on it, when they first got Hyde, and we were talking about is he just going to be almost like a Lamar Miller? Like he's not this like sexy play like an RB1, but he is what he is. He's like that 16 to like 24 kind of type of running back, like a serviceable RB2.
Yeah.
Week in and week out.
Yeah, that's like Ben Carlos Hyde, right? Like no one's ever really he's always good, but it's like no one ever jumps to get him, but he's always
He
efficient.
had one
always
good year in
scores.
San Francisco when he actually played a full season. But yeah, I mean, he is pretty much like what Lamar Miller is, minus a few catches. But I think he's actually getting more carries than Lamar Miller was getting.
Yeah.
Lamar Miller was actually losing some carries to Alfred Blue and whoever else they had.
And
what's his name? The dude with the Achilles.
Yeah, Deontay Foreman.
Yeah, he was losing
Deontay
carries to
Foreman.
those guys, and
Yeah.
I think Hyde's getting like I
He's
want to say
getting-
almost
he's getting-
80% of the
yeah.
carries.
Yeah.
So yeah, like you said, he's that running back too is perfect. Especially let's say you're a little bit stacked at running back, but you have a bye week. He's that perfect guy where it's like, okay, I'm not going to get a hole this week because
Yeah.
Carlos Hyde's going to get at least 20 carries, or not at least, but he's going to get at least 15 to 20 touches. If he gets in the end zone, it's a great week for me. On a bye week for someone.
Yeah. I would say like he's probably one of the, touchdown upside. He offers that high touchdown upside week in and week out, just being in such a high-powered offense.
Yeah, he's probably been above 15 points. 2 weeks now?
Yeah, but volume-wise, which is what you want, he's there. Volume is
Yeah, 20
so.
carries in 3 of his 6 games. I mean,
And-
it's
for sure.
He's
And-
probably got to be at least like top 10 in total carries.
Yeah,
For sure.
he's up there for sure.
And once they start, once they start getting leads in these games and they have to, milk the clock, they're going to go to him to
And it's
do
Duke
it, so.
Johnson's there, but it's just like you said, I think he's out carried him at least two or three times more carries.
He's basically a change of pace.
Yeah.
Is basically he'll spell him out, but
Yeah, if you, I'll bring up another running back too. If you're a Dalvin Cook owner, especially grab Alexander Madison. Is it Mattison?
I don't know. I said
I think
Madison.
it
I think
is-
it's Madison.
It's
I don't know.
Madison.
Alex.
I thought it was Madison, but someone said Mattison.
he did.
No, because
He did.
I
Was it
said
Mike?
Matthias in, yeah.
No, I think it's Madison because when it's 2 T's, it turns
It's Madison.
It turns Matt to Matt.
But how do you know he's not like European or something?
He's
like that?
Haitian.
Matthias
Because
was-
mate, think mate, MATE, 1 T.
Well,
What about Matt? Like a Matt finish? It's M-A-T-T.
Yeah, but there's no vowel after.
E is after Matt.
Well, he's efficient. Not the Matt finish, but
Not like Matt Floor, like Matt
this-
finish. It's
oh.
M-A-T-T-E.
this damn running back that you're talking
Yeah, so
about.
2
There's a-
T's.
there's a vowel after
Madison. The 2
He's
T's.
looking at him
Matt.
right here.
Madison. Mattis.
Is this
Could be
grammar?
it could be one of those things where like people call him Madison, but then he's gonna come out and be like, it's actually
Yeah,
Matthiasen or
like
something.
Terod.
Or maybe it's
Terod
Yeah,
Taylor.
like that. Yeah,
Maybe it's Maddie's son.
Maddie,
Bro,
yeah.
you know,
Maddie's son.
Bro,
Maddie's son.
I'm looking at all three of you. You guys digress.
hey, remember?
Digress.
Remember when, Tyrod Taylor, everybody was like, he came out,
Tyrod?
yeah, he's like, yeah, my name's Tyrod. After he's been in the league for like 5 years. What, dude? Did you know Ariana Grande's last name is not Grande, it's Grandee or something like that? She said in an interview, she's like, they were like, are you going to keep the name when you get married? And she was like, oh, like Grandee is my, I love it, my name, blah, blah. I'm trying to keep it, so I'm going to hyphen. And then everybody was like, what the fuck? That's how you say your name?
Well, it's like Kamara. He's like, is it Kamara or Kamara? He's like, whatever you want.
Yeah.
He's like, call me what you want.
I'm scoring
Call me
touch.
fucking
Call me,
Savage. Alvin Savage, Kamara.
So yeah.
Hey,
so
we got a
Madison.
Really quick,
Back,
we
back to you guys.
got a question before we go on to Madison.
Receivers.
Trade or keep Joe Mixon?
For who
Well,
and to
yeah,
get
what
what?
are you gonna get from him?
Yeah.
Because if you
There's-
trade me, I'll give you this beer for Joe Mixon. I'll
I don't
take
know,
that.
dude. I take the beer.
I think. Wait,
I don't know. This beer's pretty good.
Who's he play this upcoming week? Does he have a good matchup?
What do you mean? They run the. I just showed
Well,
to you. They run the ball.
Yeah, but I'm saying, is it
28% of the time.
Because you're gonna probably, you're selling him for probably his worst value this week. I'm saying, is it a matchup where he could have like a good matchup and then you try and
Then
move
try
him
to flip him.
after this week? That's what I was thinking off head.
I feel at this point, Mixon's a player that you package
Package.
with somebody to get somebody else.
Yeah.
For someone
If
who
you're
like
gonna
needs
trade
depth in bodies, like or someone who's like on a bye week, like if you have like who's a running back, like a James Conner on a bye or something like that, and you
Yeah,
have
like
something that you
maybe-
can get rid of because he's not. I mean, yeah.
You like maybe
not great.
like a Mixon and someone you try to get like a Josh Jacobs on the low right now because
Yeah.
he's coming off a bye and
Yeah. If you want to do like a Mixon and like a receiver to get a better running back or a better receiver, that makes sense.
Yeah,
but-
I would say I would probably try and target someone who's.
or unless you want to get a tight end for him.
Yeah, you get no
you
fans.
might be able to.
Yeah, I wouldn't trade Noah Fant for Joe Mixon.
Yeah, I think you're gonna have a hard time starting Joe Mixon just in general with Andre pointed out too, and the Bengals pass the ball more than anyone in this league right now. The offensive line is atrocious. He has no room to run. I don't think it's a Joe Mixon thing. I think it's an offensive line and the game script and game plan thing. But I think the best way to get rid of him is, like you said, is package in a 2-for-1. Like maybe take Joe Mixon and another receiver to get an upgraded receiver. I mean, because if you have two good running backs you can play week to week, maybe upgrade it at the receiver position or try and upgrade it at running back. I feel like it's easier to upgrade at receiver.
Yeah.
Because running back is so thin. So most
Thin,
people who
yeah.
have good running backs are like, nah, I'm going to trade them.
Yeah.
Everyone, we need you to stop what you're doing and listen. T-Rev has an alert. Go ahead, T-Rev. Tell them
OJ
what just
Howard
happened.
Is it Marcus
Nah,
Peters?
There's a trade, yeah.
Damn.
So the Rams traded Marcus Peters to the Ravens. This is just off the top of my head, but this is for the Rams defense. Okay, Aqib Talib is on IR, and now they trade Marcus Peters. Maybe this Rams defense is not going to be what it was,
And they can't,
last year.
and they realize they can't pay him all these guys. They can't give him all this
Yeah.
money. So
But we touched on it too in draft season. Like, don't spend a high draft pick on these teams because, it's really unlikely that a team will repeat as a top 5 defense. And I mean, you got a team like the Bears, obviously, they're probably going to repeat. But I think outside of that, I mean, you have teams like the
Patriots,
Niners,
the
the
Niners.
Panthers, the Patriots, like, these
Saints.
teams. Yeah, these teams like that. I mean, even the Steelers are coming around. These are players or teams, defenses that you probably picked up on the waiver wire or you got super late in your draft. It just shows you, like, you shouldn't waste a high draft pick in your fantasy draft on a defense.
Yeah.
or even have a league with a defense at all. But hey, that is up to you if you want to do that.
All right, let's get into wide receivers.
What
This
about
is-
like
this is-
Malcolm Brown? Like just a couple of the
Yeah,
guys. He's 42% available.
Yeah, you still got to hold on to Malcolm Brown if you have him. If he's still there,
If I have
grab him.
Gurley, I want Malcolm Brown. What about this? If you have Malcolm Brown, do you try to flip him to the Gurley owner? Just say, hey man, like I'll trade you your handcuff, or you just want to hold him?
You
or
can do
or
that.
package him, yeah.
I think you saw a little bit of a timeshare last week with Darrell Henderson in there a little bit. So I don't think Malcolm Brown will be that Gurley type, get 6 receptions, 18, 20 carries. I think it's going to be like a 60-40 split type of thing. They were just getting Darrell Henderson involved last time for the first week. So, I don't think he has that Gurley upside. I think he's more of like a low-end RB2 week to week. But yeah, I mean, I would try and get rid of him to the Gurley owner.
Because
And see
I
if you
have
can
him
get,
in a couple leagues, and
see if you can get like Robbie Anderson.
If I could flip him to the Gurley owner and get something like, I don't know, maybe I need a tight end, and that guy's got 2 tight ends. Maybe I can get like a Greg Olsen or I don't know, someone on the low, or
Fant.
not Noah Fant, or like a receiver on the low. That maybe team's got like a bunch of receivers. Like just they don't want to deal with the headache of not having Gurley's handcuff, maybe try to flip Brown for him. So
Yeah, no, I like that.
just the thing. And then you got guys like AP, 45% available. I mean, I know it's the Dolphins, and I think I'm taking this with a grain of salt. And you could just run all over Miami, but that new coach, he wants to try to establish the run. I think you touched on it before. He doesn't care about yards per carry. He just wants to run the ball 50 times a game. So. But he's at 45% available. I mean, these are guys just depth. It's always good to have depth at the running back position.
And that's when you see AP actually do well, is when he has to have a certain amount of carries, and then he actually does good. When he has a small amount, he just doesn't get anything done.
Yeah,
he's that power. He
needs to get hit a few
back.
times.
Yeah.
Well, and with
He's
bye
angry.
weeks.
You gotta get 10 hits later.
Oh damn! Don't do that.
Yeah. And then you got Devin Singletary from the Bills. He's 35% available. I think people kind of forgot about him because he's been hurt and then they're on a bye. But he'd be one of my buy low candidates right now. Like for instance, if I could flip Malcolm Brown to the guy who has got a Singletary, send it.
Well, sitting next to the guy who has Singletary, I tell you to eat a bag of dicks. I have Singletary.
Yeah, but see, what his value is. You know what I'm saying? But other people, they might have him. They might be like, he hasn't really done anything the last couple weeks. He's coming off a bye.
Fuck it, send
Frank
it in.
There, yeah.
I
He'd
tell
be
people,
one of my trade buy low, try to trade for him this week.
Yeah, because
targets.
if Frank Gore's running for 90 yards and looking like that, just imagine what this dude's about to be doing. And he could catch.
Yeah.
And he's
an explosive player.
Wait, ready? I don't think you'll ever hear this. He's 15 years younger than Frank Gore.
Jesus Christ.
Devin Singletary.
He's 15 years younger
How
than
old
Frank
is
Gore.
Frank
Gore? So wild.
Frank Gore's 37.
37.
Singletary's 22.
That's
Jesus
wild.
Christ.
So he
used to watch probably Frank Gore in his 49er days.
No. The stat was Devin Singletary was 7 years old when Frank Gore
Got
got into the NFL. He was 7.
Whoa.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Bless
I
his
mean, I
heart.
feel like everyone in the NFL was 7. You know what I mean? Like, it's
Patrick
pretty.
Mahomes
People are
was
pretty
7.
young.
Except
Yeah,
for
like everybody
him and
was.
Fitzgerald and Brady and Breeze, those four.
Yeah, Larry
Yeah,
Fitz is
Vinatieri.
Larry Fitz had dreads when he got into the damn league, for Christ's sakes. Come on.
And then another guy, just Latavius Murray, 53% available. I know Kamara's been kind of banged up, tweaked the ankle in practice, and he kind of retweaked it in the game. So
I drafted
if,
him in 3 leagues and I dropped him.
Yeah, so Latavius Murray,
Thank
if he's
Kohrs.
out there and you have Kamara, I would probably go grab him because if Kamara was to miss anything, Murray would be a workhorse.
Yeah.
And, the
sure.
RB1 upside.
For sure.
What do you guys think about
Drake?
Kenny and Drake?
I just think Drake's a piece of shit.
Oh, yes.
I don't hate
Did you
him
just
for
put him in that same tier as Big Ben?
the Big Ben. Dude, it's got to be something because it's like you watch him and he's better than any the other running backs, but it's just like, nah, we're gonna give this guy the carries. It's like Balaj who just has no vision and runs into people.
Mark
Mark
Wallen
looked okay.
Mark Wallen looked
but I'm saying
alright.
they'll give him nah, we're gonna start Mark Wallen. I mean, they could sign someone off the streets and be like, yeah, Drake, sorry, but we're gonna let this guy get more of the
Yeah, I
carries.
don't know
How does that make Drake a piece of shit?
It's just got to be something in the locker room or something.
Or the
it's
Dolphins
like,
just don't like him. They're just like, you're the best we got.
well, it's two different coaches,
I
but
wish
it's
they would
like,
just trade him, see
Yeah.
what he could do on another team. One thing I say about Drake is he's had 70 or more scrimmage yards in 3 straight games. So he's the best offensive weapon we have. But like you said, it's frustrating to see him get that, but then they're not using him right.
if you gave him 20 touches a game, he would be.
Well,
Oh
the
yeah,
thing
that
is,
that one year that J.J. they traded him, and then Damian Williams got hurt, and he kind of was like the de facto guy, only one left, and he was getting like 15 to 20 touches a game. He was crushing
He was
it.
like RB6, I think. Or
Yeah, he was
5.
crushing it.
Yeah,
and that's
well,
why he got drafted so high the next year.
I think it's because they're behind so much. So, he's not.
Yeah, but he
can't carry.
catches the
He
ball.
Yeah,
catches
that's what I'm
the
saying.
ball
So his
better.
20 touches, he's going to have to get 17 catches because
They run the ball 3 times.
they run the ball once, 3 and out touchdown, punt return touchdown, run the ball touchdown. It's like
We're just saying if
21-0.
he had like 15 to 20 touches a game, he would be
Yeah.
a valuable week to week. He just doesn't get it for some reason. I think it's got to be a personal thing at this point.
Send him to the Texans.
Where
Like
he's
honestly,
just
I know Carlos. This is just random thought, but Carlos Hyde's doing pretty good with the Texans. But I feel like if you
That's
put
what I said, the
Drake on the
Texans.
Texans, I think
Send him
Drake
to the
would be.
Texans.
He'd be like, Jesus Christ.
He'd be a monster. But I mean, like you seeing that 70 plus scrimmage yards in 3 straight games. He does get involved in the passing game. I think he's had about like 10 PPR points each week. He just hasn't found the end zone. So I mean, I think if he started getting some more touchdowns, then people would kind of be like, "Oh, Drake." But
Well, the Dolphins need to get more touchdowns in general.
Well, I mean, at least game flow.
But yeah, like,
follows him because they're down and he is the third down and the pass catching back. So I mean,
we
the
have
value is there.
2 weeks left before the trade deadline, so he's someone I wouldn't drop yet in case he does get traded to a situation.
he's just a depth
where-
guy too. I mean, even if you're not playing him, just to have him on your bench.
Yeah, bye weeks.
Yeah,
Bye
bye
weeks.
weeks. You get injuries.
sure.
You
never know.
Guy throwing your bench.
All right.
Word.
And move on to receivers.
Yo.
Then pass catches.
Shit, I'll start with my boy. Can I start with my
Yeah, you can
with
do
my
your guy.
with my son who's 1 inch taller than me, Auden Tate? my dude.
Is he
I'm not mad
Filipino?
at that. He's like their tight end right now.
No, he's a wide receiver. No,
Well, I know, but like
He's-
with his size.
Because he's so big.
so he
Yeah.
is affecting. I was telling T in the car. So personal. I drafted him in Dynasty, my guy. But AJ Green, we hope he gets traded because this guy looks pretty good. He's owned in, I want to say what, like 20%, if that.
Yeah, he's
18?
79% available, so
that
he's
much?
owned in
Damn.
21%.
So he's
None of
I'd
leagues
say-
I'm in, he's available.
I know because
I see these
have
numbers
him.
all the time, and I'm like, yo, why not in any of my leagues?
Yeah, I snagged his bitch ass up, but he looks good. The Bengals aren't very good. They're actually the highest passing team in the NFL. It's 72%, on top of them being behind 100% of the time. So that's 172% of the time that they pass the ball. My guy Tate,
So
I don't know if
simple
that-
math.
they're down 100% of the time and they pass 72%. So that's 172%.
And they were up this
That's
week.
exactly
they were
how
trying
that
to kick
works.
for a
Right?
touchdown.
Yeah, they
And
did.
then they
Oh,
never
that's
got.
right.
And then they never got ahead again.
So my guy Tate, he's been playing in the last 4 weeks. Ooh.
I was watching the live stream.
He's watching a live stream while live streaming. Jesus.
live on live.
God. No, so Tate, he's started the last 4 games. He's averaging 8.5 targets a game, no less than 6 targets in any of the games. He's playing 88% of the snaps, which is solid. Everyone who likes Tyler Boyd, I don't even know. I guess they're number 1. He's gotten 38 targets in those 4 games. Tate's gotten 34 targets in those 4 games. So it's pretty much the same. I mean, essentially, he's averaging 11.9 PPR points a game in the last 4 games, which is not bad at all. And the one stat that I did find is that since he started in the last 4 games, he is 18th in the NFL in air yards per target, which is solid.
and that's good, yeah,
So
yeah,
he's not
yeah.
getting these like dump off looks. He's getting like deeper looks, and which is solid. I mean, wide receiver, and he's a rookie. He's only going to get more looks for the team that passes 72% of the time. So I mean,
172% of the time.
so I mean, anybody who's getting 8.5 targets a game and they're available in 80% of leagues, I don't give a fuck if your name is Longar. For those of you who know he played basketball, but
He's on my dynasty team.
anyway, it doesn't matter who you are.
Actually
I'll snag you up and I'll play you. So I ride with any 6'5", and the Bengals suck. So
No, I like it for sure.
I like it.
I mean, he's putting up points. In a team, like I said, they're throwing the ball a ton. Do you just think that like when Ross and AJ Green come back though, like it'll affect him, or do you think he's kind of established himself as like a guy?
well, Ross is on IR, so he's not going to come back. He can't come back for what is it? Is it the season again?
It's like till week
Well, if they put you,
third.
it's like
like the fantasy season.
Yeah, so
basically.
yeah,
you
he's
can
out
get
for the
there
fantasy.
like for like maybe the fantasy playoffs.
I don't know if I don't even know if AJ Green's gonna play.
But I feel like Tate,
I think
Tate's
they trade.
performance
At this point, it's like why not trade AJ Green? It's
Yeah.
like you're not unless you're going to re-sign him to a contract for the next 3 years, 30-something million, whatever, or 4 years. Like why not trade him? He's
Yeah.
going to walk anyways. You're 0-6 or whatever they are now. What are they? 0-6, 0-7.
They're.
weeks they played?
I don't think.
I think it's 0-10.
0-6. They haven't had a bye week yet.
Yeah, so they're 0-6. It's like why not get what you can for AJ Green? You know, maybe you get a team like the Packers who are hurting and lost Geronimo Allison. Javonte Adams isn't 100%. They could use someone like AJ Green for their playoff Super Bowl run. I mean, he'd be a big difference maker for that team going
Oh, for
forward.
sure, 1,000%. We were actually talking about that on the way over.
Yeah.
We were saying Packers.
Packers.
Like I would like send it. Like we're just emphasizing on like
Send it.
how these teams they like value these draft picks so high, but it's like how often do you really hit on like a first round pick or like a second round pick, third round pick, whatever. Like I'd rather just go get a guy. Like I already know what I'm getting. It's almost like the Amari Cooper trade last year. Like people are kind of scrutinizing it because they traded a first round for him, but it's like all right, at least they knew what they were getting.
now look.
They saw what he got. Yeah, now
Amari Cooper's like one of those. It's because he's like that stud receiver that doesn't demand targets the way that
He
He's just not a
doesn't.
diva. He's
He
just-
doesn't.
he's
I
a
don't even think he
team player.
speaks. Does he?
I don't think he does either.
Like when he got hurt, he was like. He's like pointing.
What happened?
I got a knee. I got the knee.
He's like, oh, right here. He couldn't even talk.
Hey,
Yeah,
that's
he's
the only
like-
word he said.
Yeah, he's just like ankle. He's like, ow.
I really don't think he does.
But yeah, no, just what I'm saying. Like I if you know what you're getting when you're trading these draft picks, I would for sure go trade for AJ Green. If he was on the block, make the call, send it.
Yeah, and I feel. I mean, and to go with Tate, his performance, I'm sure, is making them feel a little bit better of letting him go. I mean, he's like a poor man's AJ Green.
Yeah, I mean, they paid
He's
Boyd
just
to
as
be there
big.
for 3-4 years. You have a young guy on Tate. You're going to have a lot of picks. Still have John Ross under contract.
And a new coach who's gonna literally just pick his guys. So I
Yeah.
mean,
Like, why not?
yeah, fuck it. Send
I
it.
guess we could duel these guys right here. Robbie Anderson, it looks like he's rostered in only 60% of leagues. We just touched on him. I mean, if he's there,
Fuck it. Send it in.
he's someone you want to pick up.
Fucking
And
send it.
especially in PPR formats, Jamison Crowder is someone you could pick up too.
Yeah.
What do you have,
Especially
like
PPR.
24 catches in the first week or something
Yeah.
stupid like that?
On 18
Four-
targets?
14.
Yeah, it was like
yesterday.
17 targets for 14 catches, and then last week he still had 9 targets. Do you have the catch total?
No, I just know that he's in the 2 games with Sam Darnold, 98 yards and 99 yards.
Yeah.
So he's
That's what I call
ultimate,
hot.
Yeah,
Especially
safe floor
PPR.
PPR
That
guy.
is hot.
Yeah, he's someone
Wide
like
receiver too. Like
PPR that week to week. You know, he was good in what they Adam Gase is. We were I can speak English for a second. We're Dolphins fans, so we know how he utilizes the slot receiver. He said he
Yeah.
wanted Jamison Crowder to get like 100 catches in a sense. So he's specifically game planning for the slot receiver to be, a high floor PPR type of guy. And his offense always used the slot receivers. It was a revolving door though with Wilson and Grant, these other guys, but it was always utilized a lot.
What about like Demarius Thomas too? I mean, he's 97% available. I think in back-to-back games he's had like 4 catches, 50 yards, 56 yards. So like PPR wise, at least kind of like a safe floor, 9-10 points.
For sure.
I think he's kind of more of a wide receiver, 3 wide receiver league type of ad.
Like
Where you-
multiple
or
flex
yeah,
guy.
or like
multiple
like a multiple
flexes.
flex with bye weeks. If you're, you have
Yeah.
a team that has you loaded your bye
Streaming
weeks
option possibly.
Yeah.
for sure. He's somebody who can get you at least, especially with Sam Darnold, and they're going to be. Well, they won't be behind. You never know, but their offense looks pretty good with him. So
Hey,
he should
what,
get you
what
at
if
least a solid 6.
what if Sam Darnold scored a touchdown and he's like, "Yo, good job," and he like went to give him a kiss and he's like, "No, dude, no," because he has mono. I thought of that and I was like, "Don't say it," and I said it.
What's wrong? What?
So who won that battle, you or your head?
Okay, continue. Talk about Robbie Anderson. Robbie Anderson is good. I have him in the league. I fucking benched him, but whatever. All right.
It's a tough
Continue.
matchup, but it's nice to see Robbie Anderson with that. He's like that home run boom guy, so you throw him in your flex, and I mean,
As long as he doesn't get kissed, he's good.
Yeah.
Apparently,
Like-
Sonya Blades over here.
well, I don't think Sam Darnold could reach him since he's got the
I don't
draft.
think
out.
anybody's
Like,
sharing a drink with
They'd be
Sam
like, no.
Darnold right
Yeah,
now.
he's got a
Get away
hickey.
from me.
What else we got? Oh,
But that's what I would, dude. If I was on the team, I would be like, I was like, dude, that was a great throw, and then I would pretend to go in for a kiss, and I'd be like, no, dude, whoa, just kidding, you got mono.
so let's see what we
Jesus
got.
Christ. we unplug his mic.
I don't know.
Jacoby
Anyways.
Myers. What do we got? We could do Jacoby Myers off the top of my head. He looks like somebody.
Dorsett. You got I'm just kind of going off some lists. So you got Dorsett and Myers.
Well, is Dorsett going to play this week, or are they saying he might not play again?
Yeah, he's. Let me see where his.
He got.
He got.
His,
I think he's one of those guys where
My
it's like you can see
fingers
his
hurt.
weekly. But I'm just bringing both these guys
Yeah.
up just to discuss
Yeah.
both of them.
Because Jacoby Myers looked good during the preseason. He was solid for him.
Yeah, I mean he's someone too. No, if there's no Gordon, nor Dorsett, he's someone you got to grab. It's the Patriots. I mean, it's their offense, and like you said, he looked pretty good last week. I was watching that game. Actually, someone to kind of touch on too. It might be too early to pick him up, but with the Patriots wide receiver
Nikhil.
position being injuries, it seemed like
Depleted.
pretty much everyone except for Edelman. It's N'Keal Harry, right?
Yeah.
Nikhil.
N'Keal Harry is someone to keep an eye on. Maybe you don't have to grab him this week. Deeper benches, you can maybe stash him, but he's someone to watch the reports, and if it looks like he's going to play in 2 weeks or whatever, maybe grab him with all the injuries and see. He was like the, number 1 rookie, basically. People were talking about drafting
Yeah.
him hella early, in a sense.
For sure. He
In
was
the
solid.
offseason, it's like these rookies came out and they're just balling out, so we kind of forgot about him. But, he's someone that could, down that stretch, be like a flex play type of difference player.
Yeah,
The
for sure.
upside's there.
Yeah,
No, I like it. Yeah,
Even
I
if
like
it's
it.
for a week or two. Hell, there's players out there that can win you a week, and if you'll take it later. Once
Yeah,
he
I mean,
gets
sometimes
healthy.
you look at the playoff names and it's people like last year it was like Josh Jacobs and like Damian Williams were like winning people leagues.
Damian Williams held me. Him and Deshaun Hamilton, which we'll talk about, because
Yeah.
Emmanuel Sanders.
And it's like you just never know, like when it comes to these later weeks, like how the team's gonna look and injuries and all this stuff. So
For sure.
That's hot.
Yeah. Speaking of rookies, you got Scary Terry McLaurin. He's 20% available.
Which is crazy.
Yeah, like
that he's
even if
even-
you're in an 8-man league,
Yeah.
if you're in a 4-man league, you need to pick him up.
Yeah,
like, he
dude,
really is. Like
He's
just,
on a terrible team that passes it to him.
he could have had like another 60-yard touchdown too. I was watching the Dolphins game and he beat Howard was out. I don't remember. I think he beat Rowe. He beat him on like a post route and he had like 3-4 yards of separation. And I know he's fat. He runs like a 4.3, so I don't think the
Yeah,
quarterback would
he's
have caught him.
dummy fast.
And he would have just had a safety to beat, but he like literally dropped it. It just bounced straight off his hands. If he would have caught it, he probably would have had another 60-yard touchdown. So he'd have probably had like 160 and 3 last week. So
Yeah. I mean, he's a guy. If I have him, I'm throwing in my lineup every week. I'm not even looking at it. Just set it and set it and forget it.
Hey, remember you made fun of me on the rookie podcast? I called him a special teams wizard.
Yeah, special teams.
That's the last time I've said the word wizard. That's the last time I've said the word wizard.
Was in this room.
My dumb ass is probably like, fucking.
I was just like, damn. I don't know why I just
related
said
to
that.
Gandalf?
No, I mean, and he's good. It's crazy how good he is too. Like he looks like he's going to be here for a while too. It's not like a fluky, rookie year or anything like that. Like he looks like he runs good. His strength is his route running. So as long as his quarterbacks don't suck, actually he's doing good and his quarterbacks do suck. So
Yeah.
he's good.
For sure.
He's like the only person on that offense.
Like legit, they drafted him not even thinking he was going to like have an impact like that this year, and he's their best guy. So
Yeah, he's just over there sitting there like.
Just a quick name I'll throw out too. John Brown, if he's available. I mean, if you're
Still
like
don't understand. 43% available.
I don't know.
I
He's
don't
like,
understand it.
he's a number one receiver.
If you could buy him, buy him.
Yeah.
I'm looking to buy him in like 1 or 2 leagues. I said
Yeah,
I
Mike,
don't make many
yeah.
trades, but he's someone I'm trying to buy.
And he's actually more effective in non-PPR leagues because he gets those deep balls. He's not the type to get you those 8
But
or
even
9
in
catches,
PPRs,
but he will though.
This year, he's been. I mean, 5 catches, 4 catches, 7. He's been actually pretty consistent.
Yeah.
I don't know if he has a game below. I mean, 9.1, but.
He's
He's a top
floor
25
is solid.
wide receiver right now.
Yeah.
And he's
With
on
a
the
bye week.
40%. Yeah, he's out there on the waiver wire.
Yeah,
Like,
insane.
Top
With
25
one of the
receiver.
highest like target team percentages, deep ball percentages. I mean, 1 touchdown in like 38 catches or something like that. That's going to change.
And
Yeah,
if
for
you
sure.
watch, Josh Allen loves throwing the deep ball. He's overthrown him a few times. And on top of that, I mean, Jesus, he played the Dolphins twice. So that's 2 startable
Yeah.
weeks right there.
he has some.
Those are 2 weeks you could use the guy.
No.
Yeah, he
1000%.
He could win your week this week.
Yeah,
I'm
1000%.
starting him.
The other Bills receiver too, though, Cole Beasley, he's 75% available. He's more of like a PPR guy here, but he's safe floor. I think he's
Yeah.
been getting like
Solid.
10, 12 points every single week. I mean, if you're in a pinch, like you get all these bye weeks coming up now. Maybe if you're in like a 3 wide receiver league,
Or
multiple
dual
flex
flex.
league, yeah,
Yeah.
he's a guy where you could throw him in there, and it's like you're going to get like 10 points.
He's getting you
you're
7
not-
for 68.
Yeah,
pick-
you're not going to get a goose egg.
Pick him up on your fantasy team, but don't listen to his rap album.
Oh, hey, actually, he can freestyle though. His freestyle,
It's actually not as bad as I'm
and he can
making it sound
dunk.
like.
So
Is he better than Le'Veon
he's-
That rapping?
He can rap and he can dunk, and he's white. I'm just saying, he's out there. He's out there.
I feel like
You got stuck.
He's out there.
I feel like when white people rap it, or like you just automatically are like a tier lower, even if you're better lyrically.
But see, this is the thing though. If you're good, you're a tier higher because you're white.
get
So
like a
you just got to
boost.
be decent, and you're higher than normal.
No.
What do you mean no?
Okay. You win.
I don't know. He's got to be decent, dog.
I went in on this argument and then I was like,
I was about to.
I don't know what
you're,
I'm
hey,
talking about.
hey, you're lucky because I was about to say, hey, spit something real quick. Then let me see. But you're good. You quit. You're fine.
Yeah, I'm out.
Yeah, he quit.
He's not about that life anymore.
He's like, I'm done.
Yeah, I'm out of the rap game. I was
couple
in for
names we
30
touched-
seconds.
Deshaun Hamilton. We could touch on him, especially if Manny Sanders is out this week. I think he's someone you got to consider against the Chiefs.
Yep, sneaky guy. I mean, another Penn State dude. We were talking about Godwin earlier, but yeah, I mean, he's their 3 right now. Not much. He hasn't produced that much. Last year, if you look at the games when Emmanuel Sanders tore his Achilles, he had a couple solid games on the back end of the season.
Yeah.
During the fantasy playoffs, so he was all right. So, I mean, his floor probably gets you 5 or 6, but he can get you a touchdown.
I think he's
mean,
a pretty decent,
PPR.
pretty decent floor play this
PPR.
week if Sanders is out, just due to the game script of Kansas City being able to score at points, Joe Flacco having to throw. I don't know his pass attempts off head, but he's probably like a low 20 pass type quarterback. This matchup he should be like a low 30s,
For sure.
And that's just 10 more targets to go around. So, and then the offense is going to try and take away Sutton. If there's no Sanders, they're going to be like, we're taking away Sutton. Even with Sanders, he might be the focal point, them trying to get rid of Sutton. So that's going to open a lot of short routes underneath routes. Some of your Noah fan, might get a
Yeah,
few more
Noah Fant's
targets
going to
this
be
week.
they're going to for sure focus on him.
So
You gotta watch
I
out.
kind of like him
They're
as like
against me.
as a pretty good play this week, especially if Sanders is out. There's definitely he's playable.
Yeah.
Dart throw, we'll call it a dart throw.
I'm trying to think of some names.
You got Golden Tate, 35% available still.
That's cool.
I mean,
that has to be one of those 8 league things because our leagues, people are drafting and holding on to players like that. So
I was actually trying to trade for Tate in a lot of leagues, but nobody would budge on him. and this was like week 2, week 3, and he was still not playing. So,
Yeah.
but 35% available. Golden Tate. I mean, he's a wide receiver 2 flex guy each week.
You know,
pretty much.
to that, like with the 35%, I feel like we get messages all the time like, oh, we made this trade for this, and I think me, Anthony, and Tyler all look at it like, how did you do that? But then I think it's because we're all in leagues where people, for the most part, know what they're doing. They know what's going on all the time, truly, and I feel like these people that send us these messages are playing. If you're listening to this, you most likely you have a couple people in your league that don't know what's going on. I have one league for back home, and someone dropped. I told them this. Someone dropped George Kittle on your guys' bye week, and like nobody saw it because there's no projection, and one person went and picked him.
That's fucking
insane.
Yeah,
wild.
Yeah, but like little
insane.
dumb things like that will happen. It's a 12-person league. You know,
It's like Petey when he dropped
PPR.
Marlon Mack.
Juju Smith-Schuster's probably been dropped in some
Big
leagues. You think Juju's been dropped in some leagues?
Hey,
I'm about
you
to
saw my
drop his
text?
ass.
Hey, his
It's
name,
like-
he changed his name from Juju to fucking
Doo-doo.
Doo-doo.
I
Or
didn't even need to see
Boo-boo.
it. Doo-doo. Doo-doo Smith.
It's not his fault, man. Boo Boo Schuster or Doo Doo Schuster, whichever one you want to do. but-
Idiot fart head.
dude. It's bad.
It's not him. It's the quarterbacks, and then he's also dealing with these number 1 cornerbacks.
He wasn't ready.
Yeah.
He wasn't ready.
I mean, dude, you have the number 1 fucking wide receiver in the league, arguably, as your not him,
But the opposite
Antonio
side
Brown.
team's trying to take him away.
Yeah, and
He's
you
pretty-
got
he
people
could still
double
be the most
coveraging.
talented.
You think your slot guy is not going to be able to get opportunity? Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Any interest in like a Jerron Brown, of kind of a fluke game in my opinion? I think he just
Yeah.
I'm kind of not.
One thing would say on this, I kind of touched on Tannehill earlier, but like I now if he is the starter in Tennessee, I want to see who he leans on a little
Yeah.
bit more. I mean, maybe Adam Humphries is a guy, PPR wise at least. We'll see. Maybe like who is he more comfortable with? Does he lean on AJ Brown? Does he lean on Corey Davis? Because I think one of these guys is going to offer some value if
Yeah.
Tannehill's back there. So it'd just be interesting to see going forward. Who he kind of leans on. Humphries had a pretty decent game. I think he had like 6 catches, 70 yards. So maybe it's Humphries that he leans on.
Yeah, no, I like that. Definitely pay attention to all 3 of those guys. Like I said, Humphries had a big week last week, but now that if he's going to be the starter, he'll have a full game plan with the ones running the reps, so it could change. A pretty decent chance it changes this week, with the full running with the ones all week and him getting
We'll
reps.
keep an eye on it for you.
Yeah. I mean, any interest in someone like Dante Pettis? I mean, more of like a deep stash, see if you can, just someone maybe some upside.
Yeah, it's like the Jaguars thing last year.
Yeah,
Just
it's
pull the
kind of
trigger.
pull the trigger, yeah.
I don't want anything to do with it.
No,
I think we pretty
Wide
much-
receiver roulette.
I think we've touched on everyone receivers pretty much.
Yeah.
I don't really have anyone left.
Yeah.
So we can move into those booties, them tight ends.
All right, tight ends.
Hunter Henry, if he's there, I
45% available.
yeah, I'm
pretty
like, I know
dope.
he's there in some leagues. I picked him up literally like Saturday morning on one league. I was like, oh shit, he's still there.
I
I
had
didn't see his name
Jarrett-
because he was like low.
I had Gerald Everett, and I saw Hunter Henry. I almost dropped him I dropped Gerald Everett for Hunter Henry.
You did or you almost did?
I almost did. I didn't do it.
Almost
though.
doesn't count.
I know. And then I played against Hunter Henry and put up like 30 points. It's like,
So the guy,
I mean, I still won, but
the guy
I
picked him up.
Yeah, the guy picked him up that I was playing against. I was like, God damn it.
Yeah, but he's the number 1 tight end out if he's there. You got to grab him. I mean, he's 100 plus yards, 2 touchdowns last week.
Yeah.
He was being drafted before the injury as a top 5-6 tight end. Update you real quick. We're talking about Hunter Henry.
Oh, they're talking about that. All right, go ahead.
Yeah, if he's there, grab him. I'm sorry.
He is.
Anything else on Hunter? I mean, he's pretty much.
Yeah, it's just
I mean, yeah,
not much
just
to say. Just
we guess we
Yeah,
just
not
say
much
for
to
tight
say.
ends. If you had Disley, it looks bad. They're saying probably torn Achilles, so he's probably going to be out for the rest of the year. So that's kind of sucks because he was like pretty much like a top 5 tight end. So maybe you are like I have Disley in the league, and that was my tight end. So now I'm kind of
OJ Howard's getting
struggling.
traded to the Patriots. So.
Yeah, so I'm like searching the waiver wire for some players.
Put it in the universe.
Yeah.
Hey, put it out there.
But another guy, Chris Herndon, 82% available with the Jets here. We just kind of touched on, how juicy the schedule is for them going forward. He was supposed to make his return this last game, but he tweaked a hammy in practice, so he's going to be out for like a week or 2. But I think if you can stash him, and like I said, if you just lost to Disley or maybe you don't have like a good tight end, I would grab Chris Herndon and just stash him.
yeah,
For sure.
Yeah. Because we'll bring this name up. Since OJ Howard's going to go to the Patriots, you could stash Cameron Brate.
I wanted to pick him up
that's
last week. Cameron Brate.
I mean, if that happens, though, let's say OJ Howard gets traded. I mean, Cameron Brate's had 2 touchdowns already. I think is it?
That's
Well,
like
he's got more-
Jameis's
he's got-
boy. Like
no, that's
like,
that's his boy.
Yeah.
They do kiss after they score touchdowns.
I
They're
had-
like,
Hot.
Like,
"Hey, good job, Jameis. Thanks.
Jameis, dude, that nice touchdown pass. Dude.
OJ Howard's just in the corner, like, why doesn't anyone like me?
He's like, I wish I had mono.
Hey, OJ Howard's like the last ball I caught was that damn foul ball in the goddamn Rays game. I can't catch a goddamn football. Now we're catching fucking
Did you hear
baseballs.
one of the announcers? He's like, maybe that foul ball was what he needed to get going in this offense. I was like,
He
Jesus.
bobbled it, but he caught the shit, so we can ride with that.
But yeah, if he because I'm reading there actually are some rumors to him getting traded, OJ Howard. Cameron Brate, someone I'd pick up. Like, we said the snaps would go up, the targets would go up a little bit, and he could be a usable tight end if OJ Howard's is gone from this team.
Sneaky.
Speaking of sneaky, one of my sneakies is Darren Fells. If you go and look, I want to say he's a number like 12 tight end right now, and he didn't even play the first couple of games.
He's higher than Noah Fant.
Yeah, and he's for sure higher than Noah Fant because he's 12. But yeah, he leads the Texans in touchdown catches with Will Fuller. I want to say he has 3. He just had a 2-touchdown game 2 games ago. He's played in like 85%. I'm a big guy on snap percentage on the field because, I mean, how else are you going to catch a damn ball if you're not on the field? But he's gotten, I want to say, like 85% of snaps the last 3 games. And it looks like they're starting to use the tight ends a little more just because it looks like teams are focusing on D-Hop so much. So, I mean, waiver wire, my personal approach, I'm actually going to start using the tight end of the dude I'm playing against and just go like that.
So hey, if you're gonna throw one, you're gonna throw it.
Well,
so.
last week I was going to pick up Brayton, I didn't, and he did well.
You're gonna just pick up the tight end of
The person I'm playing against. So
Whatever,
last
the
week I had
quarterback
Bray.
against the
Yeah.
quarterback?
So like for this week in our league, I'm facing Deshaun Watson. I'm going to pick him up. And then the week after that, I have Jimmy Graham, and then I'm going to pick up whoever I'm facing and see how it works.
You know what I'm gonna do when you play me is I'm gonna pick up Josh.
But I'm only
Rosen.
doing that against teams. Well, I'm only doing that.
I'm gonna throw him in the starting lineup,
Well, yeah.
and then Saturday morning, I'm psyched, bro. Mike
I'm
Gesicki.
not dumb. I'm not dumb. I also have I have multiple tight ends, but I'm also only doing that with teams that pass the ball to their tight ends.
Dude, Mike Gesicki had a big 40-yard catch.
Yeah, I have Jacek in Dynasty. He's a bum face. He's an athletic bum. That's what he is.
When do we play? Because I'm gonna just pick up like 2 different quarterbacks and just throw them in
Yeah.
there. You're not gonna live.
Well, that's until I trade for Kelsey or somebody else. But in the meantime, I got to do something. But no, Darren Fells looks good. He's a big body. I mean, he can catch, and yeah, they're putting him on the field and he's producing. I think
Hey,
like he's getting it done. I want to say his last. What do you have? He had 6 catches for 69 yards. I mean, you're taking that out of a tight end, and then the game before that he had 2 touchdowns.
Yeah.
you can do worse.
So yeah, you
Yeah,
can definitely
OJ
do
Howard.
worse. Go look
OJ
at
Howard.
go look at any tight end. Go look at any tight end.
Even
I've
like
started.
Ebron, Jack Doyle, like all these guys, Witten,
They're all like-
Jimmy Graham, like they're
Hey,
all.
who's gonna
yeah.
score this week?
The last 3 tight ends I've started were Fant, Eifert, and a bum.
Did you start Eifert against the Cardinals?
Would I or did I?
Did you?
Probably.
No, I didn't. That was just this past week, right? Or
2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago? No, I started someone else who sucked.
Was it Mike
That's
Gesicki?
also a good strategy. Just stream tight ends against the Cardinals.
Well, yeah,
Yeah,
they're getting gas. So 2 things I've learned is start slot receivers against the Steelers. Apparently, they are horrible.
No,
Well,
no,
it's just
last
'cause-
week they shut down
Keenan
Keenan
Allen.
Allen.
Well,
Well, maybe that
I think
could be
that's a
skewed
Minka,
after they
'cause
got Minka.
Yeah.
Because they're
they're the
Just
worst.
science.
Well, I guess
Well, Minka's
Keenan Allen's
like the
different.
best cornerback against like slot receivers.
And Keenan Allen only doesn't he run out of the slot 80% of the time?
Yeah.
yeah, he's probably
He would be a buy low target for me, Keenan Allen, right
Yeah.
now. If you could get Keenan Allen on the low, I think he's had two back-to-back like subpar games. Send
3
it.
out of 4.
He kind
bad
of
games.
does that like year to year. He'll have like because I've owned him I've had him a couple years like over the last 3 years. So he'll go like fucking bananas for like 5-6 weeks, but then he'll have like a 2-3 game stretch where he's just like 4 for 36, 5 for 40, but then he'll just go back to being like reliable. So yeah, like Tyler said, he's someone I'd buy low on. I can smell that IPA.
What about like Gerald Everett? So I know he was a hot waiver wire guy this last week. He's 40% available, and I know we kind of had like a difference of opinion on it. My my thought was like they were trailing in these games, so that's why he had to get incorporated way more, and he was still like 5th in the pecking order behind the 3 receivers the Rams have, and then obviously the running backs. This game only 2 catches, 9 yards. Yeah, I'm assuming if you went to go get him, you probably threw him in your lineup, so he put up a
'cause-
dud.
Yeah.
You're about a foot and a half away though from being extremely happy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because
He was
had
wide
a-
open on a 60-yard touchdown, and Jared Goff overthrew him by like 4. The DB wasn't even like 6 yards within him. He was literally wide open,
and he's mad athletic. He had before this last game where
He
he
could
had
have
a
had a
dud.
60-yard touchdown, and that would have been different.
He
this
had
week.
19 targets in 2 games.
Yeah. Well, one thing I can say
Before
is
that.
this: like just because he had a bad game, I mean, it was against the Niners, so obviously they're one of the best defenses in the league right now.
Let's go.
But the next 2 games, the Falcons and then the Bengals, so those are 2 juicy matchups.
That is
When
I
did
mean,
he
if you're
Arizona
going to
again?
play him, you might as well keep him in your
That's another
lineup.
thing I looked at. Whoever Arizona
When's he play
plays.
Arizona again?
Week 13.
Also, you might need him to go to if you need that tight end to get into the playoffs that week.
need
He
that-
might be that guy.
You need that playoff thrust.
Yeah.
I
I think
think
he's
the
someone.
next 2 weeks are the
Yeah.
matchups are nice. So if you had him last week, you put him in your lineup. Don't be like, oh, he's dead to me, and take him out. Like you need to keep him in your lineup at least.
Yeah, I think he's someone
for
you
next
still
week.
roster. And like I was just pointing out, like like I kind of agree with you. Those 2 weeks are probably his best 2 weeks as far as targets go, for sure. I feel like.
Yeah.
But he was one play away from a 60-yard touchdown. And not a lot of tight ends are going to get open on a deep 60-yard pass like the way he got
Yeah.
open.
And
he
that's-
is athletic, so
For sure. And that's the thing you have to watch with these games. Like, you can't just look at the numbers. Like, if you got to watch the games and see, like, if they're getting separation, the quarterback's not hitting them, like, that's one thing. Like, he's one of those guys where he's mad athletic. He can line up against, he's like too big for safeties and too fast for linebackers. So it's like, you just got to get him the ball. Because Tyler Higbee is like, he's like a regular tight end.
he's like some weird type of B.
Yeah, he's not somebody I want to roster, but I'll take Gerald Everett.
For sure. And then what about like a Ben Watson, 98% available?
Did he get suspended for a game?
He was on the.
Well, he got
something where he
suspended for
wasn't playing.
steroids.
Yeah,
Some of them- and then he said it's 'cause he
and then
retired.
they cut him,
And they brought him back,
and then now they re-signed him.
but they just suspended someone for a game. The Patriots.
Oh, I'm not sure.
Is it
Could be-
him?
Maybe I don't know. But I just
Malcolm Bowman
read
in the
something that they
Super Bowl.
re-signed him, so maybe he gets incorporated.
Oh, here.
Yes, Pat suspended Michael Bennett for 1 game.
Oh, Michael Bennett.
Michael Bennett?
Oh, Michael Bennett.
Yeah,
Wait, who were we talking about?
Ben Watson.
Ben Watson. I heard Ben, and that's what threw me off.
You guys
know-
giving me shit for the fucking
Hey,
Williams thing.
same thing. Same thing.
Same guy.
But it'd just be interesting to see if like him actually play a game to see how like much he gets incorporated into the offense.
Yeah, I like him as I like him as a deep stash.
This Patriots team is just so crowded with all the players and receivers.
Yeah.
It's like Edelman, and then after that, it's a,
They don't even
it
have
really
O.J.
is a
Howard
crap.
yet.
They don't even have OJ Howard yet. He is speaking it
Or
into
AJ Green.
I'm
existence.
just trying.
He's gonna hit up Belichick and Kraft.
Hey, clip that, and then can we tag everything as Patriot related?
AJ Green, go there too.
I wouldn't doubt it.
Nikhil, but
They'd
Nikhil
trade like a
Harry's supposed to
4th round
come
pick
back.
for him too.
You probably.
We'll,
They'll say that, and then they'll have something in like bold or not bold print. What is it like? Bold print at the bottom.
Yeah.
If he sits out a game, we don't have to pay you that pick.
Yeah.
And they'll be like, oh, AJ Green inactive week 17.
well, here's my
They'll-
thing.
We
they'll
gotta
give him
buy
a fourth
anyways.
round. They'll give him a 4th round, and then somehow the Patriots will get like a 2022
First
pick or
round
something.
pick.
Yeah.
Well, if the Bengals are going to draft a quarterback next year, they might as well trade AJ Green. If your plan is to draft another quarterback next year, you better just dish AJ Green now, because
Yeah. Should we get on
learn
to
with a rookie quarter. Yeah.
like
Yeah.
why would
Yeah,
you do
yeah.
that? You know, if your
I think
plan
they
next
get
year
rid
is to
of him.
draft one, then just dump him, because why are you going to do it next year?
Right.
anyway.
But yeah.
That'll be for
Let's
the
go.
trade episode.
We'll hit up the GM.
Yeah.
Should we get on some defenses real quick?
Yeah, we'll get it cracking. I mean, streaming defenses.
Trying to
If the
look-
Niners
look at
defense
different
is
matchups.
there,
The Bills, if they're there, they play Miami.
Against the
so that's
Redskins?
number one
If the
op-ed.
Niners D is
in
there,
Buffalo
then
too, I think, right?
Yeah, I
in
think
I
it's
think
Buffalo.
Bills
That's rough.
defense is probably more available for sure.
65% in Yahoo leagues. They're owned. So you got 35% available.
Let's go. Yeah, because I picked up the Niners defense.
The Niners defense, if they're there, add them. I mean, they're playing at like a high level.
and they're playing the Redskins
And
this
they're
week.
playing the Redskins this week. Yeah, that might be the number one defense this week.
let's go.
I'd grab the
Hopefully-
Steelers defense if they're there. I know they're on a bye this week, but
Yeah.
they were in one of my leagues, and I swooped them up. I think I put $1 on
Swooping
them,
ass.
and I got them. But they play after they come out of the bye. They're at home Monday night against the Dolphins, so that's not
That's
gonna
not-
be
that's
the
not
Dolphins.
good for
Yeah,
Miami.
but and then also I do like the Steelers defense just in general going forward. That could be a team where like you said, ever since they got the Minka trade, you know, it's something with this defense has changed. I mean, they put up a solid stat against the Chargers last week.
I feel like when
Yeah.
you get rid of that deeper threat, it just helps everything.
Yeah. I mean, we're getting an all.
Well, yeah, 'cause
you
you can
trade
keep
for an
everything in
all
front
pro
of you.
safety. It's gonna
And
help your
our
team.
line,
And then-
we have good linebackers, and
Yeah.
Devin Bush is a fucking savage.
Yeah, he leads the NFL in takeaways.
Bro, Devin Bush is a savage. Have you ever looked at his hair though? Speaking of,
Well, he ties it together during the games like Derrick Henry, but his hair is like, yeah, he's got that little tail.
no, bro, he's got a fucking fro in the front.
Yeah, and a tail.
It's like a flat top in the front, and in the back
tail.
it's just like this one long big
Yeah.
dread.
Yeah.
It looks so fucking stupid.
Look it up.
Hey, you should.
You
grow
won't say
it
that
out,
to
dude.
his face.
I'll spit right in his mouth.
Hey, you'd be like, hey, can
Dude, that's how you get
sign this?
mono.
Spit in his mouth.
That's how you actually prevent mono.
You just fight fire with fire. Just spit in his mouth. Just spit
You
everywhere.
threaten mono in the face.
Hey, mono, you're a little bitch.
All right, so what do we got? So a waiver wire kickers.
Oh,
Psych.
Saints were they play the Bears this week, and Mitchell Trubisky.
I will say
Mitchell
that hey,
Trubisky.
now that we're getting halfway through college, we're gonna have to do a too early rookie
episode.
Hey, well, there's so many. I'm telling you, there's so many guys
The rookie
coming out.
correspondent. The wheels are already turning.
Oh,
for the rookie
I can give you a list off top, but we're not going to do that right now.
Yeah, Bears aren't a bad pickup this week. I'm just looking at some matchups real quick. Looks like you got the Jaguars against the Bills, or not Bills, the Bengals. I've seen them available in a good amount of leagues.
Yeah.
And that
those
looks
numbers,
like
T.
two pretty
Who's
good
that?
streaming options.
See, who is that?
I would look it up, but I have all my devices going on
Locked
things.
up. Yeah, I mean, those are probably your
don't know.
best streaming options. I'm
Chris
trying to think of
Godwin.
it offhand if I can
Is
find
it?
a deep one.
Yeah.
Let's see.
100 yards in 4 games.
Do you guys know any other defenses? I would look this up. I would be
Sneaky.
looking.
I mean,
Maybe Tennessee against the Chargers, sneaky. Like I said, that line is, it's struggling
mean-
right now. It is at home. It's in Tennessee, 40-point over-under. This is like a deeper type of defense.
The Saints have the third overall best defense in the league, and they're facing either bitch Trubisky or Chase Daniels. So,
Yeah, I said the Saints.
I just wanted to say.
You just
I
wanted
just
to
wanted to say
reiterate it.
no. I want to
Bitch-
say
you just wanted
bitch
to-
Trubisky,
bitch Trubisky.
or bitch Trubisky, or Mitch Trubisky. Which one sounds the best?
How about Slutsky?
Well, the Bears.
I kind of like Slutsky just in general.
You just wanted to say slut. That's what that was.
I would never say that word.
Anyways,
Before-
yeah, I
before
like
11.
that.
I don't. What
Yeah.
about who do the Titans? Whoever the Titans play would be a good defense.
Yeah, that's what I said. The Chargers.
Is that what the Chargers are? Oh, never mind. Then I take that
Just
back. Never mind. The Chargers D sucks. They just let Joe Flacco.
No,
fucking
they're
do
playing
it.
the Chargers.
That's what I'm saying. Damn it. I just wanted to talk shit about Tannehill at the same time.
Two defenses are playing against each other.
I was trying to be like Tannehill, like stab.
Oh, I care less.
Yeah, I know.
I'll stab him too. I think this episode's gonna come to
Yeah,
come to a
let's
conclusion.
wrap this up.
Do we get
Okay.
any questions in the live feed? Anyone still there?
I mean, we answered them as they were going.
Pick up
Okay.
Darius, guys.
Someone just said Steelers are shit. Someone, I don't know. That was a Bengals fan that wrote that. So I don't understand them, but okay.
And you want to plug us?
Yeah, this has been the Average Bros Fantasy Football Podcast, episode 30.
Oh, 3-0, bro.
Damn.
3-0. That's 30 of just this year.
Damn, I haven't been here since 2
Really?
or 3.
Really?
Y'all been working.
Yeah, dude. Fucking out here. I did one by myself. No big deal.
Dude, you're gonna have to hit me up for these, dog. Hey, even when I'm not here, I'm here.
Bro, if I do another one alone, I'll fucking hit you up. Anyways.
Hey, I'll bring the paper plates for the salmon. We'll get it cracking.
Hell
Some
yeah.
already know.
Take our pants off, dude. Let's get weird.
The salmon.
This is episode 30 of the Average Bros Fantasy Football Podcast. Hopefully this helped you. If you could join, excuse me, if you could download the Thrive Fantasy app, when you sign up, plug in
Plug it
Average
in.
Bros promo code. Get a free $10 when you put over $10 into it.
Oh, we match it.
That's fucking $10. Turn it into $4,000 or how much? 30K like me and Anthony.
Yeah, dude, we're loaded.
Yeah, so if you want to do that, you want to be a fucking thousandaire, multi-thousandaire, go for it.
Get it cracking.
This has been the waiver wire. If you could leave us a review on iTunes, the Apple Podcast app, you just scroll all the way down if you're listening to the Apple Podcast app right now. Give us a 5-star review. Leave us a 5-star
Give us a
rating.
6-star review.
Leave us a review. I mean, fucking
Like,
Give us apparently
put
we're
an
looking for
extra
something.
star in the comments, so we have a 5-star
Yeah.
and then a 6-star.
Oh hell yeah, that's tight.
Yeah, do that.
That would be
Do
a
that.
review, not a comment, but for sure, dude.
Review the comment. Do that.
Comment a review. So yeah, that really helps us out in the podcast world, though. If you could do that, that would be freaking awesome. Really supports the show we got
movement,
going on
the
here.
movement.
The Average Bros
Average Bros
Fantasy
movement.
Football.
We're gonna start getting some clothes made.
Yeah,
merchandise, free merch.
we're doing giveaways too. So stay tuned. Check us out on our Instagram at @AverageBros_Fantasy Football. All the details will be there listed in our giveaways. We just gave away a free. A giveaway is free.
That is, it was a free giveaway though.
We just gave away a signed Marlon Mack jersey. Pretty dope.
To miss him, Vivi.
Missing my V. Congratulations again, brother. And what else I got for you guys?
I mean,
We got everything touched
if
up.
this advice helps you win your league, you know,
yeah, shout us out.
Why
Hazy
don't I holla
IPA,
at us?
If you want to sponsor us,
Sponsored by Hazy IPA. This little thing.
if you want to
That's
get at
hot.
us.
Get it cracking.
Actually, I fuck with hazy IPAs, and it's a locally brewed IPA.
Yeah.
Locally.
Sure isn't.
Sure isn't.
Sure. unless we're filming in Mills River, North Carolina, or Chico, California. But
Unless
hey,
you're in
holla
Nevada.
at us.
It's local. It's local, dude. It's in the U.S.
He's a little hazy. All right, we'll holla at y'all.
But yeah, that's just been us. We appreciate you guys. And I feel like I'm forgetting something.
We're out. We're done. Did we
No,
smoke?
we're out.
We
We're
haven't-
out.
We haven't even smoked yet. He goes, it's locally brewed. You look at
See you in a minute.